What's going on YouTube? Jacob here, and we are back with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about washing metal siding, and this can apply to metal roofing, metal siding, any type of painted sheet metal. We don't mess with any type of galvanized because it messes with the coating on galvanized metal. Before we get any further into this video and actually start talking about how to wash painted metal and tips and tricks, things to look out for, if you're interested in how we land big commercial contracts, all of our residential jobs, and we're able to stay busy throughout the year, even through the slow months, check out the first link in the comment section and the description. That'll be a link to Local Domination 2, where I'm going to personally show you everything that you need to know about how to grow your business to over 6 figures in under 6 months. So be sure to check that out. Also, if you are looking to have a way to keep track of all your customers, all of your income and expenses, and also be able to quote jobs remotely and send customers estimates and invoices after you complete the jobs, check out the second link in the comment section and the description. That'll be a link to Quote IQ. So let's get right into the first thing to look out for whenever we arrive to a job, whether it be a painted metal roof, painted siding.
So as far as working with painted metal, we know sunlight is its #1 enemy. So we do go ahead and do an oxidation check. We normally just run our finger on several different parts. We see that's just algae, growth, and organics. None of the paint is chalky or coming off with it, so we know pretty much good to go. It is a shaded area that we can see, especially at this time of the day. So it's not getting a lot of sun exposure, so it is not being oxidized, so we are good to go when it comes to washing.
So we did walk around the back side of the office building. We haven't been back here in a while. There is a shop behind our office building.
That was not oxidized.
But we were looking to see if there was any exposed sunlight areas that have been sitting for a while that are oxidized, so we can kind of show you what that looks like. We found one spot, so we're walking over there now. We're going to show you what that looks like, how the paint turns to almost like a white chalk and it rubs off on your finger. If it's already oxidized, then you're going to want to go a lot lighter on your mix. We'll talk about that a little later on in the video. This is kind of what it's going to look like. Kale just rubbed his finger on it.
Got a little bit of a chalky film to it. This one isn't too bad.
Yeah, so that's the first thing you want to look for whenever you do pull up to a job and you are dealing with painted metal surface. If it is oxidized, you are going to want to go a little bit lighter on your bleach mix. If it is not oxidized, like the first surface that we touched over here on the side of the office building, then you're good to go. You can run a little bit of a stronger mix. It'll clean up faster, clean up a little bit easier whenever you do use the ball valve or J-rod, whatever you use to rinse off your chemical off of the surface. We're going to go ahead, get the pressure washer cranked up, get chemical running through the pump. We are going to run this at about a 2 or a 3% mix. There is some pretty decent algae buildup on the side of this building. We're not going to take too much time to clean it. It should go pretty quick. We are able to clean this just about as fast as we can clean a vinyl surface if it's not terribly bad or oxidized, and we are able to run a little bit of a hotter mix. The chemical itself can oxidize these surfaces, so that's one thing to keep in mind whenever you are deciding what ratio you want to run. We don't recommend running over about a 3% on painted metal. That's typically about as strong as we'll go. Kale, whenever we start spraying, is there any type of way that you prefer to spray metal? Ridges and stuff, it can be kind of difficult whenever it comes to like roofs and stuff like that. Is there any tips or tricks that you have on how you should approach spraying a metal surface?
Typically on like a metal roof talking about, we would do fan it. If you can't reach the tops, you'd have to switch over to a J-rod tip, like a 0-degree tip, and it takes a little more to coat. Make sure your ridges are getting coated. But as far as a vertical surface, normally a fan tip will work depending on the height of it. But for this, we're just gonna fan everything, probably start top to bottom. It is a little windy. Spray directions, you gotta be aware of what you're spraying around. If there's any plants in the area, vehicles, different things like that, especially on these commercial facilities that have parking lots around that may have vehicles parked in them. But yeah, we're gonna start from the top and work our way down and come back through the middle and then finish up with the bottom. By the time we're done spraying the whole thing, where we started should already be pretty much killed off so we can start to rinse.
If you're looking to learn how to clean any and every surface on a residential job site, or how to set up your equipment, or what types of chemicals are needed to clean every surface on a residential job site, go check out the third link in the comment section and the description. That'll be a link to our How to Wash course. There's a few spots that still do need some attention. It doesn't look as well as others. Kale's gonna start rinsing this side of the building. and whatever's left, whatever doesn't clean up too easy, we can come back, apply a second coat.
So we do typically wash from top down. That way we're not double working, rinsing the bottom, rinsing the top. Now all your nasty mold and algae is rinsing down over your clean work. But as you can see, all the algae is being killed off. Some of it's pretty thick, clinging on there, but it's nothing that the pressure washer won't take off. Not too high pressure, running pretty low pressure at a distance, and it should clean right up.
If you are using a stream tip on a J-rod, being that it is a little more direct pressure than a ball valve, you can leave marks in oxidized metal. We have had that happen in the past, except it was on stucco. We had some oxidized stucco, but it'll do the same thing on this painted metal. It'll actually wash the paint out of the metal, and you'll be able to see exactly where you actually hit with the J-rod versus where you didn't. And that's not a good thing, because then you're going to be coming back and losing money on the job, because you're going to have to come back and repaint either the customer's home or the facility, or pay somebody to come do it professionally if it is too bad.
Yeah, the wind got the best of us today.
You do want to make sure that any painted metal surface, you do want to rinse off all the chemical that you put up there, seeing that it will rust the screws out and could damage the roof in the future. And also because if you do leave it sitting on there, it will eventually oxidize, no matter if you're running a lower mix or those stronger mixes that we were talking about earlier. Still, why does it normally take a lot longer to rinse off metal?
Pretty much have to cover every bit of it. It's not like rinsing vinyl, whereas like vinyl with things that are hung up on it don't generally slide off. This, with the heavy algae growth, it kind of clings to it. So you pretty much have to rinse every square inch of it if it's fully covered.
And being that you have to actually rinse both sides of all the ridges. Just finished applying the second coat. Gonna make sure we rinse all the chemical real well, rinse it all down real well, make sure we don't leave any chemical remaining on the surface, and make sure everything cleaned up good. All right guys, so we just finished up cleaning the painted metal wall over here at the office. As you can see, everything was able to clean up nicely. We did have to coat it twice, as you saw, and as we mentioned earlier in the video. If you stuck around for this long in the video, go ahead and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and also check out the first, second, and third link in the comment section in the description if you're looking to grow your business to the next level and get ahead of your competition for this upcoming wash season and throughout the rest of the year. And until next time, my name is Jacob, and as always, y'all stay happy, humble, and money hungry.